Welcome. My name is Keith Larkin. I'm the Fresno Kings Unit Chief for CAL FIRE, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone today. This is the probably the third news conference we'll be holding this week so far to kick off Wildfire Awareness Week within the state of California, bring up the awareness to wildfire activity in the state. Before we get started into Chief Pimlott's presentation, I'd like to introduce the people that are here today. First of all, our Director, Chief Ken Pimlott. We have the Deputy Director of Fire Protection, Andy McMurray. Our Southern Assistant Region Chief, Stan Craig, he's over here. And Tulare Unit Chief Kurt Swartzlander. We have CAL FIRE Logistics Office, Steve McLean is here as well. And the Colonel Miles Williams from the California National Guard. Erica Cabrera, District Director, Assembly Member Henry T. Pereira's office is here with us. And also Mary Alice, Senator Tom Berryhill's office is here today as well. So at this point, I'd like to turn over the podium to our Director of CAL FIRE, Fire Chief for CAL FIRE, Director Ken Pimlott.
Good afternoon, and again, thank you all for taking the time to spend the day in the hot asphalt with us here. As Chief Larkin talked about, we are spending all week going around the state getting the message out to the public about Wildfire Awareness Week. Governor Brown declared this week, May 6th through the 12th, Wildfire Awareness Week. It's critical right now that we, as we get into the peak of fire season, if you look around at the conditions of the vegetation, you can see the foothills, the grass drying. We get the message out to the public now about what can be done, what needs to be done to prepare for the oncoming peak of fire season and the conditions that we know can come in California at a moment's notice as it relates to fire behavior. It's been no secret to the state for the last several years, and certainly this year, concerning budget challenges. We have all faced difficult fiscal challenges at the state, federal, and local level. CAL FIRE certainly isn't immune to those difficult budget issues. We are just now in the process of completing an $80 million budget reduction. I think many of you have already seen what those impacts are in terms of the reduction of firefighters on the engines, et cetera. Here locally, the elimination of the Fresno air attack base and the consolidation of the air tanker with the Porterville air attack base. Certainly these cuts are to vital resources and are difficult, but we are working very hard, both here locally in Fresno County and in Tulare County and across the state, to minimize those impacts to the fire protection system in California. It's important to stress that CAL FIRE and our local government partners have the ability across this state to move resources based on the threat conditions that are posed by weather, dry vegetation, all of those things that we are well practiced at every year from the centuries of fire protection and fire issues in California. CAL FIRE is a statewide organization. We have the ability to move resources from Humboldt County to San Diego to the Central Sierra. We have the ability to tap the mutual aid system and work with our partners at the California Emergency Management Agency to utilize local government resources to assist us in the fire protection mission. We've been spending the last several weeks in fire readiness exercises. Our hand crews, our engine companies are training and honing their skills to be ready for peak fire season, and we're beginning to staff fire engines in the state as the fire conditions increase and operational need warrants. So we're talking about what we're doing as the fire service and at CAL FIRE to prepare. Today we really want to stress what the public, what residents of California must do to prepare. A key website that residents can go to, that citizens must go to, is www.readyforwildfire.org. Go to that website. It will walk homeowners through exactly what you need to prepare your family and your home for wildfire season and for in the event of an oncoming wildfire. While things are still green, even though they're beginning to dry, now is the time to get out and prepare your home. We use a key message with 3 words: ready, set, go. Ready, Set, Go is designed to make a very simple message to allow homeowners to prepare in advance of a fire or any disaster. The first piece of that is ready. Ready means you need to prepare your home for the event of an oncoming fire. That means create 100 feet of defensible space as required by law around your structure. Remove vegetation, mow the weeds, ensure you have adequate access to your facility, your residence. Ensure that you have a good, clear address marking. All of that is key to prepare your home and your family. The next piece is set. You need to prepare a disaster plan for your family now, not just for wildfire, but for any disaster that we are known for in California, earthquake, flood, or other disaster. Now is the time to plan and protect your family ahead of the disaster. And lastly, it's go. And that means just what it says, go. In the event of a fire, do not wait until it's too late. Heed evacuation orders immediately. Be prepared, have an evacuation plan, and be prepared to leave before you're told to evacuate. Oftentimes, fires change direction and speed very, very quickly, and your escape routes may be cut off. It's critical that you leave the area and allow firefighters to enter safely so they can protect your home. The key reason we're focusing on an education message is that 94% of the fires in California are started by people. That means 94% of the fires can be prevented. So simply through education and by educating homeowners and residents on what you can do, we can prevent so many of these fires across the state. We also have other tools that we're utilizing to get the message out through social media such as Facebook and Twitter. We provide updates throughout the year, throughout fire season, on fire activity and also on tips and occurrences and events that are going on around the state to keep you informed through this local media on what is going on. So again, www.readyforwildfire.org. Go there, review it, practice the things that are presented on that website. And remember, firefighters are going to bring the offense. We will come fight the fire, but it's critical that you, as the residents and the homeowners, bring the defense. You must provide that defensible space and do the things you must to make your home defendable against wildfire. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. What I'd like to do now is provide a little bit of the local perspective on what's going on here in Fresno County. And as the Chief said, you know, we're trying to get the word out statewide, but also we're carrying that word here locally. The theme for Wildfire Awareness Week, again, is Ready, Set, Go. As part of the Ready campaign, or the readiness for homeowners, we're out doing inspections within the local area. So far this year, we've done 142 inspections of residences right in the valley floor area within the Fresno County Fire Protection District. And last year we did 3,000 inspections total, and we expect we're going to have at least that many again this year. When you get into the CAL FIRE area, up into the foothills and the state responsibility areas, we've already completed about 2,000 inspections this year. We started in February. We've been out meeting with residences, showing them the types of things that need to be done. And last year we had a total of over 5,000 inspections that we completed in that area. So again, we're looking at that type of a goal and completion for this coming year. Additionally, what we've been working on over the past year and a half are some fuel breaks and some vegetation modification projects that have been going on up into the foothill areas, up around the areas of Auberry and some of the communities around the Meadow Lakes, Highway 168 corridor. We've basically worked on about 400 acres and reducing the vegetation, so if in case the fire does get started, there would be a good fuel break in place to minimize the exposure to residences up in that area. This work is being funded through federal grants, and so it's all federally funded grant money. And we're working with CAL FIRE, the U.S. Forest Service, and 168 Fire Safe Council to complete these projects. I think that the weather conditions are pretty common now. I think everybody realizes that our rainfall for this year isn't up to the level that we're used to. In fact, last year I think our totals were over 130% of normal. This year we're running about 75% of normal, so you can see that our rainfall amounts are down. In fact, we had a very dry December, January, February months for this winter. We did get a little bit of catch up on that in the spring with the rainfall, and we did get some additional grass growth and some greening up out there that has helped to prolong the start of fire season a little bit. But right now the conditions are ready. We're preparing to take on wildfire activity here locally right away. I think we're all seeing the warming trends that are coming in, and that's having a definite impact on the lighter fuels like the grasses and drying them out. They used to be green, now you see them all turning brown. That tells us very soon we're going to be running on a regular basis trying to capture these fires. Right now the fire activity here in the valley floor is on a regular basis. We're getting wildland fires. We had a 15-acre fire out in the Kalinga area on Monday. We've had a couple of smaller fires up in the foothills. So again, this is an indication of what the activity level is starting to increase. We did, as the chief mentioned, we just had a spring exercise here last Saturday where we had 9 different agencies together on an exercise up in the foothills. We had 9 local government agencies, the Sheriff's Department, and other agencies involved. Basically, what we call a scrimmage, kind of getting ready for the big game ahead, just practicing working together and coordinating our efforts. There's over 50 personnel that attended that training. On May 14th, basically next Monday, we're going to hire 45 firefighters here in the unit, and we'll start their 1-week training. And the following Monday on the 21st, we'll have 9 engines fully staffed, CAL FIRE engines ready to roll, whether they be here locally or throughout the state of California as the needs arise. So that's kind of what's going on here locally. We'll be happy to take more questions and that type of thing after other folks have had a chance to speak. But right now I'd like to introduce the California National Guard Colonel Miles Williams.
Good afternoon. We in the California National Guard have a long-standing cooperative agreement with CAL FIRE, and over the years we've provided a lot of helicopter support, whether that was transporting firefighters or using water bucket dropping aircraft. We also have fixed-wing aircraft, the C-130s, with firefighting capability to be able to drop retardant. Now the key to this is always about training and readiness, and just last week our final set of Army aviators and Air Guard rotary wing aviators, that's helicopters, completed their training with CAL FIRE to provide water dropping bucket aircraft. So we're ready now. We have numerous crews and aircraft that are ready at a moment's notice. Again, with this long-standing agreement, the cooperation between CAL FIRE and the California National Guard is relatively seamless, and we're always ready and we're always there. And next I'll be followed by Chief Zagaris.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure today to be here to represent the California Emergency Management Agency and our Secretary, Mark Ghilarducci. Cal EMA has been out coordinating with CAL FIRE, the California National Guard, our federal wildland agency partners, and over 1,000 local government and tribal agencies that make up the California Fire and Rescue Mutual Aid System. We've all been coordinating and attending preseason fire meetings, as well as doing the annual refresher training, and as you just heard, also attending wildfire exercises, preparing for the 2012 fire season so we can better protect California. While the California Fire Service, we are preparing for this fire season, we're joined by all of our partners, and especially those at the local level, to ask all Californians, whether they're living or visiting here this year, to prepare their homes as well as their families to join us in being better prepared. As you already heard, ready, set, go. The time to start is not tomorrow, the time to start is today. And again, I'll remind everybody, www.readyforwildfire.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Zagaris. At this point, I'd like to have Mary Alice from Senator Berryhill's office come forward. She'd like to make a presentation to our Chief Pimlott.
Well, thank you. I'm joined here by Erica with Assemblyman Henry Perea's office in presenting a certificate from our offices, from our bosses, and commemorating this week and thanking you for bringing awareness to homeowners, property owners on how best to combat this. And as we heard, we're worried about this year, obviously, because we didn't have as wet a year as we've had in the past, and so it's even more important that we're doing what we need to do with clearances and with evacuations and things that were mentioned earlier. So again, on behalf of Senator Tom Berryhill and Assemblyman Henry Perea, we'd like to present this certificate that hopefully will hang in one of these offices here, commemorating this week as 2012 Wildfire Awareness Week. So, Chief, will you give it to you? Thanks. Okay, they want us to pose for a picture.
Oh, yeah,
so
Keith needs to come in here.
Okay, Keith. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I'll hold it for you.
Okay. All right, that pretty much concludes all of our speakers for now. At this point, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have of any of the folks that have spoke today. And so at this point, we'll take questions.